in any other module, you have filters. By default, you should have filters that reflect the compliance packages that you have uploaded before. If for whatever reason, when you upload the compliance package, that filter is not shown there, you can create your own filter. Just go to New, and under General, say Compliance Package, and the compliance package you just created. Then go down here to Settings, give a name to your filter, for example, the name of compliance package, and you probably want to click default index. So every time you load a module, that package, that filter will be shown by default. You can save and save that filter, and that will be the end of it. Now, many people want to use filters, of course, to know what's going on. In the case of compliance analysis, I guess a typical filter will be something like, give me all the compliance requirements. So we go and filter all the compliance requirements. And then you look at those that have some specific status. So for example, we have 718 requirements. We are trying to be compliant in here. So typically someone will go and say, give me all the compliance requirements where their internal controls, last audit failed or last audit expired. Typically they put one or the other one. So must match, yeah. So let's go with the expired one first. So this will give me all across all the compliance requirements I have where controls are used, but those controls haven't been really tested. So we don't really know whether this compliance requirement is actually being addressed or not. So you see we have 259 results out of 700 and something. Now you might want to save this filter. And so I'm gonna click here again, gonna go to settings. I'll go to compliance requirements with controls not tested. And I'm gonna save this filter. I could add and remove columns to my filter if I want, but I'm gonna leave it like that. Now, what you want to do is you create a report notification. So you send that out by email to you. So I would say, compliance stuff we have not tested. You just choose the filter you created. I like CSV files. I'm gonna skip empty results. And I'm gonna send this every 10 days, let's say. So every 10 days, eramba will run this filter. And if the filter comes with something, it will put that into a CSV and send that by email. If the result of the filter comes empty, well, we don't want emails to go out. So now I'm gonna say, well, I want that to go to me, and say compliance requirements not tested. And that's the end of it. The same kind of filters I could have done, for example, with compliance requirements, where we say that we are compliant, but our testing is actually failed. So let's try that filter as well. So I'm gonna say, well, give me all the compliance requirements where we are saying, or we are claiming, or we are trying to say that we are compliant, but we know for a fact that we are not compliant because our testing of the internal controls linked to that are basically failed. I don't really know if it's gonna give any result because I don't know this database too well. So what people have built in here. So we have actually quite many. So you see, we are saying, hey, we are compliant with this requirement, but the control that is linked to this requirement is actually failed. Now I'm gonna add a column in here so I can see the name of the controls. I'm gonna change my filter a little bit. I'm gonna go to internal controls, and I'm gonna show as a result the name of my control. And I'm gonna go filter. Why I didn't click save? Because I'm still setting up my filter. I want to have all this stuff. So now I know, you see, I can see which controls are used and are failed. Now I definitely want to save this filter. So I'm going to settings, and I'm gonna call these compliance requirements we are not compliant with. Well, you know, you play with this wording if you want. Now I'm gonna save this thing, and again, what I will typically do is I would go and create a report notification, a second one that will send the second filter. So hopefully this is a kind of an example of the kind of filters that you can use in this module to yeah, to let you know what is going on.